these people, to all the industry colleagues, to all these partners, I say thank you. We are in the business of people, interacting with people and connecting people. A big thank you for your time and support in contributing to this Global Exhibitions Day success. Let's continue to drive this business of crafting platforms that create strong networks, build lifelong partnerships, and continue to take our industry to where it belongs. With the outbreak of COVID-19 early this year, exhibition industry seems to press pause globally. International trade fair body UFI estimated that 88 billion USD of total economic output related to the exhibition industry will not be generated by the end of Q2. The same body also acknowledges that the exhibition industry in India is the fastest growing industry in the world with a healthy growth rate of 8% and estimated to be 24,000 crore rupees by way of direct and indirect impact generated through the organized sector. Now, as we all know, there is some light visible at the end of this very dark last quarter. Countries like Germany, Korea, Hong Kong have started opening exhibitions in a phased manner. They have differentiated between mass gatherings and exhibitions. They see exhibitions as structured business to business platforms which can be held with safety guidelines, fully realizing the relevance and impact exhibitions make on the local economy. Last few weeks, we all had a chance to interact with the Shri Nitin Gadkari and also Mr. Sadangi, who is the MOS MSME, and share our thoughts with them and heard theirs. And today it's my pleasure to welcome our esteemed panel. I see Mr. Rajesh Agarwal already joined us. Mr. Rajesh Agarwal, welcome. Uh, Mr. Agarwal is IAS from 1994 Manipur cadre, who is currently designated as Executive Director ITPO since September 2019. His immediate previous stint was as Joint Secretary, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Also welcome our next esteemed guest, Mr. Darpan Jain, who is the IAS officer of 2001 batch, Karnataka cadre, and is currently appointed Joint Secretary in Department of Commerce, Government of India in the Trade Policy Division. His work is now focused on initiatives to enhance services exports from India. He's also involved in addressing the issues of non-tariff barriers facing exports and has held many high offices since the inception of his career. Once again, a warm welcome to Mr. Agarwal and Mr. Jain. I now invite Mr. Bala Subramaniam, President IAIA, who is also the COO of BIEC and Executive Director, Trade Fairs with IMTMA. Bala, the microphone is yours.
Thanks, Bhupinder. Thank you, everyone, and wishing everyone a very happy Global Exhibition Day. It's a great privilege for me to have these two distinguished guests amongst us on this exhibition day. Mr. Rajesh Agarwal and Mr. Darpan Jain also is not new to the exhibition industry. Many of them are aware who they are, and we have closely interacted with them in the past. So it's a great privilege for us to have both of them together on this important day, which is the Global Exhibition Day. We are all celebrating this Global Exhibition Day amidst this breakout of COVID-19, and it's an important day for us to showcase the strength of exhibition to the entire industry. And UFI has very aptly coined a theme for this year, which says exhibitions are key to rebuilding economies. The single agenda for today for us, for every one of us, is basically to highlight the role of exhibitions it plays in the economy and the total output, contribution to the GDP, and the job creation that it does through this vibrant industry. On this day, the exhibition industry unites as one great family and share hope and optimism against this backdrop of COVID-19, which we have been suffering in the last 2-3 months, and focus on the important role of exhibitions in connecting and rebuilding communities and economies. We all know that since we are all from the exhibition industry, how important exhibition is all about. Exhibition is a key enabler in terms of industrial development, trade and economy, and also employment generations. And it's also one of the prime revenue generation shows in the country. Exhibition industry has been a very difficult phase in the last 2-3 months, which has created a lot of big disruptions And there are many shows starting from May onwards, which has got cancelled or postponed. And India too has been in a similar situations where some of those over 120 exhibitions have been cancelled or postponed. As many of the organizations look for revival, we have been all sitting with fingers crossed, and we were looking for that when the exhibition industry would reopen and restart. We're all looking with a great hope for the government to support us, and that's why we have this two esteemed guests with us who we would expect them for us to support us in getting this exhibition restart as early as possible. We have done all our things from us. We have created SOPs, we have created guidelines, we have reached out to many other government departments. Also, we have presented this to the ITPO and also to the MOC. How this, once the exhibition restarts, how we would be acting in terms of steps that we would take in terms of taking care of the exhibition that we going forward when the exhibition restarts. With the travel and hospital industry giving a restart, it gives a lot of hope to the exhibition industry. As Bhupender rightly mentioned, countries like Germany, China, Korea, Hong Kong has already started, and probably we could always take a cue from these countries, and we can also make arrangement in terms of how do we emulate some of those steps taken by this country, and we can make ourselves ready for when we start in the next few weeks to come. I'm sure everybody understands that exhibitions will definitely act as a springboard, and we can also make exhibition industry grow faster. And the way it impacts, it is estimated that exhibition provides an average 12x for the money spent in terms of business generation in the exhibition industry. And we all now look forward to this government as looking forward, making this not just as a mass gathering, but we're also looking at exhibition as an organized gathering, because many of the exhibitions which we do, they're all B2B in nature, where they're all systematic in nature, where the process driven. So we all, once again, on this day, the very important day, we're looking forward to the support from the government and how government could support us and give us a green signal in terms of starting exhibition at the earliest. With this note, I would hand it over back to you, Bhupender, again, over to the panels. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bala. Thanks for setting the tone of today's discussion. Mr. Agarwal, you have recently taken over this new role. And just 6 months at ITPO, you experienced this very special challenge of COVID-19. And now we have already seen you actively voicing the initiatives of ITPO and supporting various industry initiatives. I would request you to first share your thoughts on the exhibition industry and how do you see the road ahead? Mr. Agarwal, over to you.
Thank you, Bhupender Singh ji, and my greetings and felicitations to all the co-panelists, to all the stakeholders of the exhibition industries on this Global Exhibition Day. Frankly, I only came to learn about this Global Exhibition Day concept few days back, and I think it is a great idea to at least bring back the focus to this industry, which is very critical to, I think, growth of economies across the world. I think before I joined ITPO, I had also not realized what is the important role Pragati Maidan or an exhibition industry has been playing in building Indian economy also. We never thought of exhibitions that way, and probably now today, 6 months into the job, 6 months into the sector, I can see that exhibitions have been critical for last more than 2 centuries, I think. Post industrial revolution, I think industry has grown across the world in various economies. The exhibitions have played an important role. I look at exhibition is a key platform wherein we try to bring in all the potential manufacturers and the business buyers together and try to remove any information asymmetry that might coexist in the system. The biggest bottleneck in growth of any economies is that the buyer doesn't know where the seller exists, right seller exists, and the seller doesn't know where the right buyer exists. I think exhibition tries to remove this information asymmetry and brings in all together on one platform at very economical cost, because if you participate in an exhibition at very optimal cost, you get to beat a lot of your potential lifetime buyers in one go. If you meet 100 buyers and maybe you have 3 handshakes, those 3 handshakes can be lifetime handshakes, which can actually change the future, the course of your industry or your businesses. So I think exhibitions have been playing an important role. And in a world which is so diverse, so big, I think it will continue to play that important role. What is important that as governments, we do recognize the importance of exhibitions, because if exhibitions are organized well, are promoted well, I think we can play an important role in growth. Even in current COVID scenario, I think one of the key factors for rebuilding economies, rebringing the growth on rails, I think exhibitions will have to play an important role. So I also see exhibitions as a very important player, especially in Indian context, in case of MSMEs, SMEs, who are not able to leverage market, and exhibitions at least provide them that visibility wherein they are able to showcase their products and innovations that they do, and they are able to leverage a lot of market through exhibitions. During my small uh, interface with this industry over last 6 months, I have come across numerous success stories wherein I have learned from exhibitors how their businesses have grown after they first time participated in an AHAR 20 years back, or in an IITF 30 years back, or any other fair few years back. So there are numerous such stories which you will come across where businesses have been built around exhibitions, where it started with a small stall in an exhibition or a shared stall in an exhibition, and today there are a full-fledged participation in an exhibition because they find value in it. With individual businesses find value in it, I think as a nation we need to find value in exhibitions and actually bring exhibition industry also back on rails. I think today the Global Exhibition Day is a good time to recall all the good work that exhibition industry has done within this country and abroad also, and try to at least put exhibitions in the right perspective. When governments talk of rebuilding economies, at least exhibition should start finding a mention, and then only we'll find that the exhibition industry also feels that they are getting their due. So I feel we need to, and for doing that, I think one of the things today, we are amidst COVID-19, and I understand exhibition industry is one of the most worst hit sector because it has completely come to a standstill. The Q1, the quarter 1, I think, has gone without any exhibition in India. The quarter 2 also, it seems there will hardly be any good exhibitions. There might be few, but we may not have full-fledged big exhibitions going on in quarter 2. So I think it has been a great setback to the exhibition industry. And one way to rebuild, I think, the faith in exhibition and restart the exhibition, I think, is each one of us try to gather those success stories, try to bring back those brand ambassadors, and actually showcase to the world what exhibition industry has done to growth of businesses, to growth of industry, and to the growth of economies in the country. Because if we do that, it will boost our own confidence that we make a difference. And at the same time, I think it will boost the confidence of exhibitors also, who need to come back to exhibitions. Because COVID-19 is such an uncertain scenario wherein a lot of behavioral changes are occurring across the country. Individuals are behaving in different ways to ensure that they are safe and they don't get into COVID-19. And at the same time, they want to carry on their economic activities. So there will be a certain amount of behavioral change that will happen due to COVID-19. And the world may not remain the same. Once we are able to conquer this disease, we are able to find solutions to this disease. But at the same time, I think exhibition industry will also adapt itself to this changing world and will be able to respond it in right fashion. If we are aware of this, we'll be able to do that. And I think in this foray, ITPO has also been working with both, I think, Indian Exhibition Industry Association, and through India MICE Alliance, we have been trying to work with all the stakeholders to see how we can bring together all of you, work with all of you, and pave a path for restarting this exhibition industry. Towards this end, ITPO has formulated a detailed set of protocol which venue owners, third-party organizers, an exhibitor, a business visitor need to follow if we want to make exhibitions a success in the present scenario. This has been completely drawn from the inputs and the first draft that we received from IEIA, and also the inputs that I received in various webinars from all the stakeholders, some of them who are present here also today. So we have finalized the draft. We have circulated it back to, I think, the India Mice Alliance and also to IEIA to give comments so that we can further improve upon it. And we believe we will, after we receive your comments over next 2-3 days, maybe next week, we will try to articulate the case before the government to see that exhibition industry is an important part of economy. This needs to be restarted. This needs to be treated on a different footing as an organized gathering, a B2B gathering, and this needs to be restarted from a future announced date with a non-negotiable sort of protocol. A protocol which is non-negotiable, everybody who's a part of exhibition industry will need to follow it. But at the same time, a future date can be announced so that this uncertainty ends and we, each one of us, can start planning in this direction. We may be 100% successful. We may be greatly successful. We may start a humble beginning, but we'll also need to restart as all other sectors are doing today. So I think as ITPO will try to take the lead and take your voice to the government and articulate it before, and we expect there will be a positive decision in this matter sooner than later. We expect that exhibition industry will get the mandate to restart its operations sooner than later with a right set of protocols, which will be an outcome of what we discussed today, what we have discussed past, and some of the comments that you will be sending in due course. I think we are also trying to articulate we also want to collate the facts and bring it before the government also. The fact that exhibition industry need not be seen in isolation. It is not an industry which is getting impacted only, because when exhibitions die out, there's a lot of other industry. The whole MICE sector is getting impacted. You have got travel industry, which is getting you're getting tourism, which is getting impacted. You have got hospitality, which is getting impacted. So I think we need to look at the indirect and direct impact of exhibition industry per se, just by holding exhibitions and not conducting any business is also huge. In addition, when we conduct business, the long-term impact of exhibitions are very high. So all this is being collated, and I think we'll make a very strong case for exhibition before the government, through the Department of Commerce, our administrative ministry, to Ministry of Finance, and to MHA, to see that how best we can have a future date to restart and move in the right direction. I think at the same time, we need to be aware that when we restart business operations, exhibitions in this country, we may not be able to probably hold international exhibitions from day one, because a lot of international exhibitions do depend on the new visa regimes that we'll see across the world, how it unfolds. Today, international travels are banned. People from one country to another country, if you are not citizen of that country or not be right now welcome, I think each country is looking at what can be the new visa regime for the people coming from abroad. I think we'll have to wait and watch. But at the same time, I think we'll like to articulate on behalf of industry through DOC to MEO also to oversee that whenever a new visa regime for India comes into being, the interest of business visitors coming for Indian exhibitions should be taken care of, so that at least if we are not able to go abroad and participate in international exhibitions, at least we can bring in business visitors for Indian exhibitions when the environment is more open and when international travel is allowed. So we'll work with MEO also on this and try to see that this aspect is also looked at. We'll also look forward to support. I think some of you mentioned in last webinar that I attended, that we'll also like to, because this COVID-19 has created an uncertain scenario wherein a lot of exhibition organizers are actually getting on the brink of financial liquidity crunch is very high to the industry. And many industry are on the brink of getting wiped out in case they are not able to come to foot again as fast as possible. The insurance companies, the insurance of exhibitions, insurance of exhibitors also is not helping much, because I think the future insurance also will miss out COVID out of communicable diseases, or maybe communicable diseases may be out of window for all insurances that we get in future. I think we'll need to rework with insurance companies also to see how in a post-COVID-19 situation they can give us good insurance for exhibitions, so that we feel safe enough for especially communicable diseases like COVID or any other which is arising out in future. Because we don't know whether COVID-19 is going through its last phase or first phase or where it is today. So keeping that in view, we'll have to also plan in a manner that we are not struck twice, because if we are struck twice, we get ready again and we are not able to hold exhibitions. I think that will be the last straw on the Indian exhibition industry. To mind you, Indian exhibition industry, to my own understanding, is growing as a fast pace, but this is industry which has picked up in last few decades. It's not a very age-old industry. It has picked up in last few decades, and now it has been growing at 8 to 10% per annum. And if it gets impacted at this juncture, I think future growth of this industry will also be impacted. So that aspect also we'll like to take care. One more thing, I think there has been a lot of debate around technology, how with this exhibitions, COVID-19, now virtual exhibitions will be the call of future and no more physical exhibitions. I think technology has always been there with us for last 2 decades. The technology has always been there with us for last 2 centuries when exhibition industry has grown. I think we need to see technology as an enabler, not as a competitor. We need to see virtual exhibitions as an enabler, as something which we need to take together with physical exhibitions, rather than being a competitor of physical exhibition. If we take them as their own and we adopt them as a part of what we do, I think it will no longer remain a threat for us. So technology to me is a opportunity for the exhibitions to also reorient themselves, reinvent themselves. How can we use technology like AR, VR to make the exhibition stalls a completely new experience for business visitors? Can we make our exhibition stalls a completely new experience for business visitors? Can we push our exhibitors to bring in a lot of augmented reality, virtual reality tools to ensure that the experience is seamless? It is also maintaining social distancing at the same time. It's seamless so that people like to come to our stalls. Can we use artificial intelligence to ensure a better interface? Because I can't bring in 10 people in my stalls to serve my clients. Can I use artificial intelligence to ensure that we better serve our clients with use of technology? So I think if we take technology as our friends, we'll be able to reinvent exhibitions and make them better experiences for our future business visitors, and actually make them grow, help them grow at a much faster pace. I feel the physical face-to-face meeting during exhibitions, the benefit of seeing things for yourself can never be taken away by something very virtual. And I believe human beings are social beings. We believe in emotions, and emotions only come when you are actually able to experience things, products, or people. So I think physical exhibitions are there to stay. It's only that we have to reorient ourselves and take technology as our friend, not as an adversary. If we take them as a friend, I think we'll grow faster. Lastly, I think our Honorable Prime Minister has given a call that we should move towards an Atmanirbhar Bharat. If we have to be a Atmanirbhar Bharat, we have to be a confident India. I think exhibitions have got a role to play. I feel instead of looking exhibitions as only for promotion of exports or promotion of domestic industry for exports, I think we also need to position Indian exhibitions as promotion of Indian products in Indian domestic market. I think there are many good products in Indian domestic market which are not able, lot of it which is part of southern India is not seen northeast part of this country. Many products which might be there available in Manipur has not seen the mainland of this country. I think a lot of these exhibitions can be positioned to actually create that all those unique products which are regional in nature today actually become national. And if we are able to do that using exhibitions, I think we'll be contributing heavily to making India Atmanirbhar India. I think we'll be contributing to this larger cause that Honorable Prime Minister has laid before us. So there is a lot that we can do together as an exhibition industry. On this Global Exhibition Day, I wish you all the best. And as ITPO, I'll tell you, we are here with you to support you on all that we do. As venue provider, we have done whatever best we could have done to offer to the industry in difficult times. And as organizers also, we'll work shoulder to shoulder with all of you to see that this exhibition industry is restarted in shortest possible time with best set of protocols. And we are not only able to lead the game, we are able to set standards for the whole world. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Agarwal. After listening to you, it's hard to believe that you have only been 6 months new to ITPO, especially since you never got a chance to really settle down in the new role and to understand how this industry works. So very nice to hear what you said. We have some questions for you, which we will cover in the last segment of the session. Mm, We talked a lot about government, and talking of government, we have Mr. Jain with us. Mr. Jain, warm welcome. You have interacted with the industry in the past and have been quite supportive of our ideas. I would like to invite you to share your perspective of Indian exhibition industry, and then we will take a few questions from the industry for you and Mr. Agarwal. Mr. Jain, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bhupender. And thanks, Bala, for inviting me. Thanks to all the organizers and my greetings on the Global Exhibition Day. Actually, EDITPO has covered all subjects in detail. His remarks have been very comprehensive. So I'll try and highlight only some points. In fact, there may be a little bit of a repetition considering his coverage of the subject, but nevertheless, I will just make few comments and then I think we can open it for interaction. Bala remembers when we were working in Bangalore. So we used to work on Bangalore International Exhibition Center. Then, in fact, in my days as collector also, we were setting up exhibition centers in our district. So I think exhibition industry needs a lot of support and push from the government side, because on its own it is not able to kind of bring all the elements together. And therefore, today is the time in the COVID scenario when we need to take a pause and think as to where we are going. Exhibition industry is the worst affected, and I think it will be the last to resume full-scale operations. And the movement of travelers, both from abroad as well as within India, is going to be regulated for some more time till everyone becomes confident and the SOPs are fairly stable and established. So I think this is a time for us to plan. And so in that background, I have 4 or 5 comments to make. So one is, as we all know, the important aspect of exhibition is basically removing information asymmetry, allowing people to experience products, meet people, engage in conversation. So how we can ensure that the information is available at one place and it's a value proposition. So I think as far as MSMEs are concerned, it is a big value proposition. As far as our cottage industries are concerned, this is a big value proposition. So how do we make this a big value proposition for all our MSMEs, for all our local industries? So this is a point I think which we need to take up with our MSME associations at the national level, at the state level, discuss with them, see as to how we can engage more and more with them and provide them a platform of this exhibition. So their support will be required from the states, support will be required from the center. Then over a period of time, I think industry has to find value in this platform and it has to become self-sustainable. So focus on MSME, I think, is something which we need to think of and bring in more and more in our exhibitions. Second, the aspect of, I think, formalization of the sector. Now, in our exhibition ecosystem, we have exhibition service providers, we have people who are providing the venue, then we have exhibitors. So as we were discussing during the crisis also, so suppose we have to support service providers, exhibition service providers. Who are these exhibition service providers? What kind of services they provide? What is their kind of financial position? How it has changed or worsened? So if we are able to have this information in a very dynamic way, then perhaps some of the policy measures can address the challenges which are being faced by the sector. But at present, as per my understanding, we don't have a very robust database of our industry in terms of service providers who are providing different services, like somebody who is putting up stalls or somebody who is providing maybe some other facilities in the venue. So how many people are working in that? What are their pay levels? What kind of uh, problems they are facing or challenges they are facing? So we generally kind of try and support in terms of providing a package for MSMEs. But can we have a separate database for all our exhibition service providers? So if we have that, I think then it is easy for us to understand the challenge and then respond to it. So that is my second point. I mean, can we look at greater formalization and greater database development of the sector? The third thing which I would like to emphasize is, again, we are now at a stage at which everyone is looking at, now we are doing a web-based conference. People are looking at exhibitions which are virtual in nature. So how do we adapt ourselves to this changing requirement? How do we bring in more value using technology? I think that point was beautifully covered by ED also in his remarks. So I think going forward, we need to use technology more and more. And we need to work with our stakeholders. And now itself, in fact, let me tell you, in Department of Commerce, now we are working on coming out with our guidelines. We have our market access guidelines. So we are trying to see how we can support virtual exhibitions, how we can support buyer-seller meets which are virtual. So can some of us develop platforms, develop products which can be used in this time period and then can get integrated into our physical systems as we go forward and bring in more value. So I think going electronic is the way forward, and this disruption has actually given that opportunity. And it can give us a lot of, I was just thinking, like we do number of events, it can give us a lot of efficiency in terms of organizing our exhibition, in organizing our buyer-seller meets. If you have a platform which can 4 months, 5 months in advance, try and reach out to all the buyers, reach out to the sellers, do a matchmaking, can get some interactions going, and then the exhibition can be the last thing, and those people can come and perhaps seal the deal, as we say it. So the value proposition, I think, can be further enhanced. The whole product of exhibition can become very, very attractive. I mean, in government, we keep on saying we did this exhibition, that exhibition, but some people say, okay, then what happened after that? What is the return which you are getting on an exhibition? You are spending X amount of money. How much of business is getting generated out of it? So I think we can now start addressing this question in a more pointed way. If we take 3 months, 4 months of preparatory work, use electronic platforms, tie up the things, do all the things which can be done on a virtual platform, and then do the last part, the people who are really interested in meeting, seeing the product, then physically feel the product, I think it can really add value. So my third suggestion would be, kindly see on the virtual side how we can enhance our value proposition. The fourth point which I would like to make is pertaining to sectors. In fact, I had in past also sometimes referred to Bala as to why, some sectors are very good in doing exhibitions and some sectors are not so good. Is understanding not there, or is value proposition not so clear? Like, I handle services sector now. Now I see in IT sector, we are leaders in IT sector. Globally, we are among the top exporters of IT products. We have a very well developed IT industry, but I don't see international level IT exhibitions, international level IT meets which are happening in our country. Why can't we become the hub of IT activity of the world in terms of exhibitions, in terms of conferences, in terms of events which are happening? So like that, there are a number of sectors actually. So can we identify such sectors where we see there is a gap? Maybe there is not enough understanding. Maybe the value proposition is not properly explained. Maybe we need to change the way we do exhibition. Maybe IT industry is not having product to show. So how do you kind of make this exhibition concept attractive for them? Can you bring in some other elements which can help them in getting more business? See, you know, in Bangalore itself, we have 5,000 startups. Now, I don't see a big event on startups being organized by the industry itself. We do some things which are done by the government, but as an industry, why can't such a big industry, which is more than 200 billion US dollars now, I mean of exports, so why we cannot kind of develop products for exhibitions, for conferences? So that is the fourth item. So maybe perhaps we need to look at some of the sectors and see for some specific interventions which we can make. And lastly, we have been, I mean, looking at both the demand side as well as the supply side. In terms of demand, exhibitors, as I said, MSMEs, some sectors, we need to kind of incentivize these sectors. We need to give them more value in exhibition, and that is the way I think we need to create demand for our services. In terms of supply, yes, venues are very important. We all know we are very I mean, in terms of infrastructure, we are way behind some of the countries. In terms of number of events, I mean, I remember some numbers. We are only 2% of number of events which are held globally. If there are some 35,000 events or 32,000 events which are held globally, India holds some only 700, 750 events. Similarly, in terms of size of the industry, we are fairly small at this time. So in terms of venue, I think there is a need to work with all the stakeholders, industry, associations, state, and the central government. I think all have to come together to set up venues which can perhaps initially be set up with some government support, and then perhaps they should be self-sustainable. So that infrastructure gap or the deficit, we are able to bridge. And we have venues which are world-class. I mean, if we have to do, I still remember, I mean, even in our metros, we don't have a place to hold exhibition. I can tell about Bangalore, except Bangalore International Exhibition Center. I mean, the other exhibition centers are not really, I would say, in a position to hold exhibitions at short notice of international level. So infrastructure is the key, and I think the stakeholders need to come together. And therefore, I would suggest the association, if it can come out with a strategy, maybe a strategy which is for next 5 years, which has some tasks which are short term, medium term, and long term. And all these items which we just discussed in terms of how we can bring in more demand from MSME, from other sectors, we can plan for that. Second, how we can bring in value proposition. Third, how we can fill in the infrastructure gap which is there. And fourth, the skills which are required in the exhibition industry. I mean, I don't see any institute of repute conducting a course on event management or exhibition skills and standards pertaining to that. Do we have specific quality standards which say this exhibition is certified of this standard. So can we in the industry, if we are doing some 1,000 events, can we come out with a standard saying that these 1,000 events would have these quality standards so that our exhibitions are of a particular quality? So I would stop here. So I think a comprehensive strategy which looks at some of these aspects and divides them in time horizons for implementation with different stakeholders, I think is very necessary. And that will give you a kind of a document to work with, that will give you something on which all of us can converge our efforts. Otherwise, government is going to run certain schemes, you are going to take certain initiatives, but can we bring them all together? Can we synergize our efforts and then bring in all the elements? As you know, government is spread in different departments and ministries. Ministry of External Affairs, Civil Aviation, Tourism, your mother ministry is tourism. Then commerce is trying to also facilitate as much as possible. So, and then at the state level, we have to converge our efforts. So I think there is a need for a base document which industry says this is the way we want to grow the sector over the next 4 or 5 years. These are the tasks which we intend to undertake. And these are the tasks which each of the stakeholder will do. And then if we are 23,000 crore or 24,000 crores today, we intend to become 50,000 crores in 2024. I think if we can have those kind of objective and very precise tasks cut out for each one of us, and then Bala, we can again come back next year on the Global Exhibition Day and review whether we have measured up to the tasks which you have listed.
Sure.
And we can take them up. So I'll stop here. Thanks so much for inviting and thanks for giving this opportunity.
Thanks, Mr. Jain, for your insightful talk. And we have taken down your suggestions and we will revert to you with our feedback. On the venue front, I would like to tell you that Delhi, Greater Noida, Mumbai, Hyderabad, all these cities have now world-class exhibition centers. So we will send you some updated information on that front. But I think a lot has happened in the last couple of years, and I'm sure you will be pleasantly surprised to see the quality of infrastructure which Pragati Maidan is planning to come up with, or we already have at Greater Noida, or we have in Hyderabad, and rest of the cities as well. With respect to your point on services side database, with some certainty, I can tell you on behalf of ISA, which is an association meant for stand contractors and other related industries, that we have a reasonably good database. Now, we would of course want to understand from the ministry the level of precision which you expect from the database, and certainly Bala and the other association, we can put together that feedback for you. We can assure you from our side, Mr. Jain, that although we have many challenges at hand, but the Indian exhibition sector will continue to show a great variety of attempts and efforts to lead the industry change, not just now, but also post-corona era. And with that, I would request you to please stay with us for some time. We have some questions coming from the audience. So question number one is for you, Mr. Agarwal. When does the ITPO project get completed? And when do you expect to see the first shows after lockdown? Mr. Agarwal.
Thank you, Upinder. I think it's $1 million question that you've asked. When does the ITPO project get completed? I think we were very positive that this calendar year we'll be done with the project, and from next calendar year or next financial year, definitely the new venue will host all the new events that come in here. But COVID as it has impacted many other sectors, I think construction industry is also deeply impacted, and compounded with that migration which has taken place. I think today, though we have restarted construction, we are not in a position to get labor. So that's a huge challenge we are envisaging, but we are looking at it. And earlier I used to say that next financial year we'll be there hosting the events, next calendar year hosting events in the new halls that we have. I can assure you we'll definitely have phase one of the project over in this calendar year and the new events will be hosted here. But the entire project, I think, may take another 6 months, and maybe we go up to June next year or September next year, depending on how things unfold from today. Because to my mind, every day is a new day, and we don't know how this situation unfolds, how the labor feels to come back to the capital city. Once labor starts coming back, once the internal migration of the country is back in place, I think we will need 10 to 12 months to get back in order, 10 to 12 months to complete the whole project. That is what we need. But that is from the day when things are broadly normal. 100% normality, I understand, will not come. So let's be hopeful. But we will commission the first part of the project, that is majority of 5 lakh square feet of exhibition space within this calendar year, and sooner than what you expect. We'll try to do that. Thank you.
That's a reasonably clear answer. Thanks, Mr. Agarwal. The second question is quite connected, so I'll post it to you. The Industry Association for Exhibition, the IIA, has submitted the SOPs, as you also highlighted in your opening note. And we are told that ITPO is also preparing its own SOPs, which you mentioned, which is of course a welcome news. And if you could tell us something more about it, especially with respect to the guidelines, safety guidelines, since majority of the exhibition organizers hosting shows at ITPO are IIA members, would be nice to see if we can also have their participation and we can give our feedback to you. I think you touched upon this during your opening note, but if you can just add something to it.
One, I think the SOP that ITPO has prepared is broadly in sync with what I have heard from all of you in 2 interactions that I had before this day. And also some of the inputs that I got from the SOP that you all have prepared as an association and submitted to DOC. A copy was sent to me also. So we have built upon that. 2, we have also tried to gather some inputs from how exhibitions have been held across in other countries like Korea. There has been 5-6 exhibitions. China, there has been 1. So what have they done, try to do differently? So what we have tried to broadly categorize into 4 sets in the protocol. The first set of protocol is for the venue organizers, where we see that in order to maintain social distancing, pre-registration of visitors has to be a necessity. We have to ensure beefing up of systems at our gates so that the entry and exits are smooth and there is no long queues and lines, because that is the first step towards that. 2, I think we need to ensure that everybody who visits a fair is with a mask and there are adequate sanitary sanitizers, dispensers across in the exhibitions all in our campus. So that is also second part, which finds mention both in what organizers need to do within the halls and what as a venue managers we need to do at the gates. I think the third aspect is also we are looking at that can we increase the common area in exhibition hall, and wherein we are trying to mandate that a maximum of 50% of area should only be utilized as exhibition stall. So if you have more of common area, the chances of maintaining social distancing improves. Fourth, we are also looking at can we enable larger size of booths, because we need to mandate in a smaller stalls, you can't have too many exhibitors being there in this stall. A stall of 9 square meters, you can't have 2-3 exhibitors standing there. I don't think it will be difficult to do any kind of social distancing, and it will also be difficult for the business visitors to feel with confidence, to interact with confidence. So we are putting certain embargo on total number of people who may be allowed in a hall. In a hall of 5,000 square meter, we feel a total of around 1,000 people at a time. We should not cross that, because if we cross that, whatever we may try, we may not be able to maintain social distancing. So some of these parameters we have built as a part of the guidelines that we have circulated. We have circulated to you also and to IMA also, and we look forward to more comments, because when you gave an SOP, we thought, let us make it more broad-based, take more comments, build upon it. And then as ITPO, when we write, we should be able to say that we have consulted the industry before coming to DOC or to MHA.
Sure.
The second aspect is for the organizers also, because organizers also will have to spend a lot on mounting period, tenancies, a lot of prefabrication will need to be encouraged rather than fabrication at the site, because that will also be for venue managers, like a lot of sanitization of their facilities for workers who come pre-exhibition, because we don't take care of workers, and that they are the potential source of COVID also. If we don't take care, we need to ensure proper sanitization of halls, proper sanitary facility for all the workers who come, even some social distancing norms for them. So all these find feature in that, and you will have it as a detailed 10-page document that I think we have circulated with all of you. Go through it, give your comments. We like to, this is not the end all, we like to build and make it more robust, so that then when we approach to government, we can say with certainty, if we follow this, we can do big events with 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 visitors without any risk of COVID coming out of due to this event. COVID may happen, not happen because of multiple things in the society, but event will not something which will encourage COVID in the society. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Agarwal. It's a welcome approach, I have to say. Mr. Jain, the next question is connected and for you. We see that Germany, Korea, Hong Kong, and other countries have all opened the sector, and they have differentiated exhibitions from mass gatherings. How does MOC looks at the Indian exhibition industry, and where do you see this differentiation taking place at what time frame, especially after the vote of confidence from Mr. Agarwal?
No, definitely. I think taking on from what Agarwal ji mentioned, so I think to start with, exhibitions would be more on B2B platform, in which the people who are coming, the business visitors, would be with some kind of a pre-defined selection criteria or a screening methodology, and the numbers would also be limited in a way so that the venue is able to accommodate, the booth is able to accommodate. So since social distancing is something which is a prerequisite, so to start with, I see B2B channel opening up first. And as I understand, almost 60 to 70% of our exhibitions are B2B. So I think that will be a good news. But yes, I think the cost may increase a little bit because the booth size may increase and the overall footprint of the venue will have to go up. But nevertheless, I think B2B should not be a problem if we are able to take care of all the aspects as have been mentioned. But yes, B2C I think will take some time, and the overall confidence in the citizens of moving around, going to the gathering, congregation, and being part of a group. So I think that will take some more time, and this is a very uncertain scenario at present. So let us see, I think, but I don't think these to be a very, very long-term kind of a feature. I see these things getting resolved perhaps much more quickly. So as some countries have already started exhibition, I see some B2B getting started in India also fairly fast. And then maybe following that, once we become more used to the overall SOP in moving around, I think to some extent B2C also can find place as we go forward. So government is supportive of it. I mean, I would like to just mention from our side, but then we have to balance the requirement of social distancing with the economic activity, which has been the main principle.
Sure, and it's a very important key prerequisite. Is there anything, Mr. Jain, which you would require from us as an industry to make this informed decision of phase-wise allowing exhibitions to take place?
So Bhupinder, I think you had prepared some SOP, and I now understand ITPO has already prepared a SOP, and I think you can all have a look at ITPO's SOP, and then maybe at the government level it needs to be taken up with MHA. And so at present, I think ITPO SOP is the base document on which all of us can work and give comments, and then that can be taken up by government for consideration. And as you know, now states are also involved, so we need to consult with states also. Important areas where venues are there. and we need to have buy-in from states also. So I think that is the base document on which we should work. And as we go forward, I think yes, technical inputs from the industry is very essential, because ultimately you know how a particular issue can be resolved if we have to balance the two aspects. So I think it needs number of iterations and discussions.
Okay, point well taken. Second, and I can say last question for you, Mr. Jain, is services sector is a key driver of Indian economy, and you have underlined that in your opening note. And exhibitions bring the best of services sector together. So the question is, when do you think MOC can consider Indian exhibition industry can get into the champion sector category? Maybe we are pushing the envelope right now, but I think this is a good time to do that.
No, Bhupender, you are already part of champion sector. So see, we have tourism already as a part of our champion service sector program. So in the tourism, we can take up all initiatives related to exhibition industry also. So I think the association should not feel that you are not part of the champion services sector program. You are very much part of it. And all initiatives which have to be taken up by the government, I mean, we are very much there. We are all together. Whatever facilitation is required, whatever support is required, whatever is required in terms of coming out with SOPs, working with the states, doing discussions. So we are there. But as you pointed out, service sector is one of the most, I would say, worst affected sector at present. And the reason for that is because number of our services are delivered through a physical interface, be it tourism, be it exhibition, be it education, be it health services. So all these services have a physical interface, and we need to see how we can resume operations, bring in good practices, bring in quality in our product which we are offering. So I would like to emphasize, use this time to come out with a strategy for next few years, and let us work on that strategy. So it will be a good document for all of us. And it need not be very exhaustive, in the sense you don't need to write a full thesis for that. Only some 2 pages of pointed actions. These are the steps we need to take. These are the time frames. These are the people who have to take. So I think if we have that, we know where we are going, who has to do what. And I think it will be a good thing for us to then also converge whatever you are saying under champion services sector. See, under champion services sector, we are pursuing number of areas of reforms, number of areas of skilling, standardization, infrastructure, gap filling. So all these aspects are being addressed in the champion services sector program. So for each sector, so we have 12 sectors, as you are aware. For each sector, our target is to have at least 5 items on which we work. So we have 60-point agenda. So focus on that 60-point agenda, try and achieve that in a time-bound manner. So, and take it up with the states, take it up with the other ministries, so that we are able to deliver on those. So my request would be, kindly give your points, let us discuss them, let us fine-tune them, and then let us try and hold discussion with the other stakeholders. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Jain. We hear you, and I think we will work on this. I think it's a lot of food for thought, Bala, and I think we have to do this homework and approach the ministry. But thanks for this very open feedback, Mr. Jain. I'll come to the conclusion with the last question to you, Mr. Agarwal. ITPO expansion plans include a large convention center. How does ITPO plan to bring large global conventions to India?
I think, see, definitely this convention center will be a success only when we are able to bring in large global conventions. Initially, we had thought of catalyzing a New Delhi convention cum exhibition initiative through a joint initiative of all the stakeholders. But I think this COVID and the delay in the project has put us back on it. We look forward to getting suggestions on it. Frankly, as ITPO right now, we don't have a game plan for that. We are talking to many big conventions across the world. We are trying to get in touch with them and trying to talk to them how they can bring their conventions to India, their conferences to India. We are talking to them. The problem that we are envisaging at this point in time is that we are not given to give a firm timelines. And so we hope as we are able to get out of this COVID scenario and we are able to more stabilize, I think we'll have a more aggressive plan to actually showcase this facility across the world, especially to whichever pharma sectors or medical sector where large conferences are held. And I'm glad to also say that luckily we have been able to bring together, at least we are in talks with 2-3 sectors like energy sectors, power sector, petroleum sector. We are trying to get their big conferences in this new facility that is coming up in 2022 and 2023. So we are already in talks with them to bring few of these conferences where governments play a major role. The ones which are completely in private domain, we'll be doing a more aggressive marketing as soon as we have got a complete handle on when we are able to finish this project and what is the structure, how we'll manage this whole convention facility.
Understandable. Just one question from my side. You talked a lot about technology. Is ITPO considering acquiring some of these technologies for the shows organized by ITPO?
The two things, see, ITPO as an organization, one, we are now, I can assure you in last 6 months, we are using a lot of technologies are inner functioning, and you will see as you go along, all the stakeholders will experience a lot of technological interface with ITPO, a seamless interface without too much of human interference. That is what we are aiming at, so that when we deal with our stakeholders, we are technology driven. Even on fairs, we are thinking the debate that is going on in my mind, in mind of ITPO is, do we actually become technology owners or we partner with technology providers? Because see, as ITPO, my expertise is the venue, the location that I own and we have in control. But technology is something which is very dynamic in nature. It evolves with time. And we don't have in-house expertise on technology. Any technology that we adopt today will also evolve with time. So the debate that we are having should be partner with good technology provider in order to integrate technology into exhibitions. And as JSDOC also mentioned, bring in certain technologies which can enable more virtual exhibitions as of now and can be integrated with our physical exhibitions in future. So we are working with that. We are debating on both these options. Maybe in next 2 weeks time, we'll be moving on one of these paths. And definitely either through partnership or through directly, we'll be owning up some of these technologies.
Thanks for sharing that. And I can tell you that ITPO for the whole industry right now is the lighthouse example. And we all are very carefully watching ITPO and the steps it takes, because it will open the exhibition sector in India. But no pressure, Mr. Agarwal. So thanks a lot for this insightful discussion and taking on our questions. With this, we come to the conclusion of the session. We all agree that nothing will ever replace the value of meeting each other face to face. So we all will meet again soon in an environment that is safe for all of us. And I thank you all for your participation once again. Thanks a lot. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bhupinder ji, Bala.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.